Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. The NDP opposition is calling for American liquor to again be removed from Saskatchewan store shelves. It comes after U.S. President Donald Trump abruptly ended tariff negotiations with Canada. Trump is upset about an Ontario anti-tariff advertising campaign airing in Republican states, but the NDP believe now is not the time to back down. Wayne Mantika reports.
High tariffs
Donald Trump calls the multi-million-dollar Ontario advertising campaign fake.
The way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation.
The commercial uses the voice of Ronald Reagan from years ago.
High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars.
One expert suggests that the campaign was a mistake.
But I don't think it was a good decision to run those ads. I don't think it was prudent. If the long game is not to punch Trump in the face, but the long game is to win a trade agreement, then I think this was a mistake.
Opposition New Democrats believe now is not the time to back down, as they call on Scott Moe to punch back.
Getting that infrastructure built, those rail lines, those pipelines, those transmission line, power lines right across this country. Let's take that American booze back off the shelves for a start and show that we are not going to take this lying down.
Just hours before Trump suspended negotiations, Premier Moe spoke of the difficult situation facing the country.
We now have international leaders that are doing things to us as Canadians, and it's a different time. And it's a time for us to come together and to ensure that we are getting that market access into both the United States and China for our agricultural products and all of the other products we have. So,
the Saskatchewan government calls the latest development deeply concerning, as it calls on both the Canadian and American federal governments to get back to the negotiating table. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Saskatchewan's health minister got to hear doctors' opinions on the province's plans to use involuntary addictions treatment, and they fear it will make people's addictions worse. Minister Jeremy Cockrell was invited to the Saskatchewan Medical Association's assembly and took part in a question and answer session with members. One member asked him what the government is trying to achieve with the legislation that takes away the choice to seek treatment. Dr. Carissa Brabant says she can't demand her patients stop smoking and expect them to listen. And she fears this new plan can't force treatment if the province expects any success.
What is the underlying reason for this, and address that directly. Forced treatment is not a method that is going to work. It is a method that I believe is going to cause harm.
Brabant says a patient's right to choose treatment is a foundation of medical ethics, while Minister Cockrell says some doctors are on board with the plan. The Prince Albert Grand Council and Hatchet Lake Dennisuli Nation cut the ribbon on the new Spruce Lodge medical boarding home. The Spruce Lodge is now located at the former Days Inn on Marquis Road. It's owned by the Grand Council and Hatchet Lake Dennisuli Nation. The lodge has been inactive in Prince Albert for 40 years now, providing accommodations, meals, and transportation for First Nations clients who come to Prince Albert for medical care. The former hotel has 65 rooms, a commercial kitchen, a lounge, and a boardroom. In what's being called a Canadian first, a Saskatchewan town is putting up its own name for sale. The town of Duck Lake, about 90 kilometers north of Saskatoon, is inviting corporations to bid for the naming rights to the community. The mayor says the move is aimed at breathing new life into the community by funding much-needed upgrades to roads and other infrastructure. But renaming the town has a minimum price of $10 million. The mayor says he got the idea after seeing a stadium in the U.S. sell its naming rights for millions.
Their name would be on GPS, their name would be on the weather network, their name would be on all the signage and on all the maps, and that's not just in Saskatchewan, that's worldwide.
Duck Lake is accepting tenders until March 31st. Then residents will vote on whether or not to rename their town at the next public meeting in April. Government Relations says council can request a name change, but the minister's approval is required. It adds there are no restrictions on what name a municipality may select. There you go, Jeff. What's in a name, eh? And what's in the weather, more like it?
Well, what's in the weather is warm conditions. We've talked about this for the last few days, John. We have all this rain and wind out in British Columbia, but it is warm wind, warm air. It's a warm situation. And so we have a high down here helping you drive up some warm desert air. But more importantly, we have all this active weather coming off the Pacific, pushing into the Pacific Northwest and into British Columbia. And we reap the benefits of that warm air coming across the Rockies, and we are going to see quite the warm up. And it looks like it's going to be a stretch of weather that could make Halloween look pretty good. So we'll talk about that later on.
It was an emotional day in court as a homicide victim's best friend took the stand. Nakira Brown's friend, whose identity is protected by a publication ban, appeared hesitant to talk about Brown's involvement in the terror squad street gang. Brown's boyfriend, 28-year-old Andrew Rosenfeld, is charged with second-degree murder. Court heard the night of her death, Brown planned to go on a mission to confront a fellow gang member believed to have disrespected the gang. When the defense pressed the witness about the mission, she grew emotional and agreed she didn't want to say anything that would tarnish Brown's memory. The first week of an expected 4-week trial for the man accused of killing 19-year-old Misha Pavlik 19 years ago is coming to a close. The accused faces a second-degree murder charge but cannot be named as he was a minor when the alleged offense took place. Today, Derek Enns testified about multiple altercations on the night of May 21st, 2006. Enns says he stepped in to defend Misha and break up a fight before the attackers turned on him, stabbing him multiple times. Defense questioned Enns' testimony and the statements that he gave to police in 2006. The trial continues on Monday. 2 men were seriously injured after being shot near a busy intersection. It happened yesterday afternoon. Police were called at about 4:30 to the corner of Warman Road and Assiniboine Drive. Both victims were suffering from gunshot wounds. One was inside a business, the other inside a vehicle in the parking lot. They were both sent to hospital with serious injuries. The suspects left before officers got to the scene. A fourplex in Martinsville was heavily damaged in a fire. The flames started late yesterday afternoon on Main Street. No details about the extent of the damage or the cause have been released. On Thursday night, the Saskatchewan Party hosted their annual Premier's Dinner, which gathers party supporters. Over 1,000 people attended the event that featured the Premier and his team outlining their priorities for the year ahead. Mo's overall message was one of optimism for the province, with a focus on a strong economy and safe communities while investing in healthcare and education. Those themes were also present from the government's throne speech earlier this week. When we come back, 1 week to trick-or-treating, Jasmine catches up with Lyle from Parkland Ambulance to talk Halloween safety tips.
One thing to remember when we're approaching Halloween is that it's important to stay as safe as possible when you're out trick-or-treating. Here's a little bit more information on how you can do that wearing a costume, and then things you need to look for when it comes to candy and treats. So what is going on with the costume, and why could that be a safety hazard?
Well, Jasmine, first, thanks very much for visiting with us today. I know it's hilarious, but we've taken part of our Terry the Trauma costume to emphasize to folks that when you're wearing something like this, first of all, it's really hard for me to hear you. I can only see probably out here. I can't see anything down here, especially in this costume, and my voice is muffled. So let me just get this prop off. There we go. So when you're wearing something, we want folks that are out trick-or-treating to wear something that is safe, it's bright, and it's light. So something that, if it's cold out, and we're in that time of year where the weather's nice and it's warm and it's cold, so something that is easily for someone to put over, so they can put it over their fleece, over their coat, something like that. Something that's bright, so it's seen, so as they're trick-or-treating, wandering the neighborhoods and visiting houses, that they can be seen by the traffic. but also so that they can see, because this sort of type of a costume has very limited vision. And so if we're talking a costume, maybe it's something like just a simple hockey helmet. Now this one's too small for me, but something like that. So I have good vision, I can see. If the costume is not hockey related or football or some sort of sport like that, just try to make sure you can see, you can hear, and it's easy for you to navigate. The last thing too is that trip hazards. Make sure that first of all for the costume, it's something that I'm not going to trip over. So a long dress or a long witch's costume or wherever it is. But at homes where maybe people have to get up a few stairs or up the front steps, that sort of thing to get to your house, do us the trick-or-treaters a favor. Get rid of any sort of leaves or anything out there that's hazardous for you. Obviously, treats are going to be mindful in everybody's mind. That's what we're out there to do. And I just want to emphasize that if you are the type of person that's going to give away a homemade treat, maybe you're a great baker, or like I've got an apple here today, people receiving that, unless they know it came from Aunt Martha or the neighbor next door, types of treats, sadly, I would just toss them away. So for the people that are giving them, if you know that your grandchildren or the neighbor's kids are coming and you want to give them the special treat and they know it's coming from you, that's okay. But don't give away something homemade. I know you want to go to a lot of effort to do that, but people receiving this, just be safe, because we don't know where this has been.
Are there other safety tips that we didn't discuss yet?
Well, sure. We want to remind the motorists as we get closer and closer to Halloween. Halloween often starts with even the kids going to school that day, because many of our schools will have costume parties or encourage the kids to come dressed and to do that, or it'll start after school in the neighborhoods where there's lots of kids. Just a couple things. Slow down in the neighborhood. You know that there's going to be trick-or-treaters, so watch. Often for them, we try to encourage the kids and moms and dads and people going with. There is always safety in numbers. So travel in a group of people, and also make sure that you have something to alert someone. Maybe it's a whistle that you can tuck inside the costume, or it's around your neck sort of thing. That if something happens, some trouble, even if it's a stray dog, but worst of which it's a people-related problem, that you can signal for help. Try to travel in a straight line, meaning go down one side of the street, cross at a corner, rather than your friend saying, hey, there's something really good over here, and dashing out across the street, because that's only asking for someone to be more alert than they need to be in a neighborhood. And often, if you're not doing the trick-or-treat thing and you're listening to us today, you're not doing the trick-or-treat things, just a simple note on the door or turn the lights off so that folks aren't bothering you if that's just not your thing to do so. But for homeowners, please try to keep your pets away. I know that's what we're going to do with the dog. We've got already the baby gate up at the top of the stairs so that the dog's not running down and you're trying to open the door, do the treat bag and hold the dog back sort of thing. Those sort of things to make your area just safer. Lots of decorations out and about in our city. So we thank the folks for just getting out there and celebrating Halloween, and we wish everyone, on behalf of our family here at Park Dynamos, happy Halloween and a great trick-or-treating day.
Thanks for telling us how to stay safe, Lyle, and happy Halloween to you too.
Thanks, Jasmine.
Jeff's got your weekend weather forecast coming up, and later, technology linking brains with computers bring back the ability to move and feel. As I say it, Jeff, I'm sure somebody's going to be walking into the Art Hauser Center in shorts and a T-shirt, but for the sake of those who are going to be parking, because that's going to be a full parking lot tonight, what kind of attire should they be wearing for their long walk into the rink?
Well, I think for the long walk, for goodness sakes, just be, reasonable. I think, a nice sweater, a windbreaker. Look, we've got ourselves some decent temperatures, but once the sun goes down, temperatures drop off in a hurry, so you're still going to need to have a jacket. But but for that person with the T-shirt and flip-flops and shorts, good for you. Anyhow, let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our precipitation. Lots in the Pacific Northwest, moving up into parts of Canada. A real soaking situation. Basically, about 2 to 3 waves of moisture coming through this weekend, and then the warm air. The moisture gets scrubbed out by the Rocky Mountains, and then we start to feel that warm air coming our way, and it's going to stay on the warm side of seasonal right into next week. And we mentioned it before, things are starting to quiet down in the Great Lakes region, and I know Canada's Atlantic coast, we're anticipating quite the soaker for the southern part of the Avalon Peninsula. So not so much St. John's, but certainly areas to the south of that. All right, here we go with our futurecast. So as you can see, we've got some active weather sliding into the northwestern part of Saskatchewan in the next 24 hours. But really, that's about it. So we've got ourselves warm conditions. The winds pick up a little bit tomorrow. You can see those pressure lines a little closer together. But by the time we roll into the latter part of the afternoon, it really starts to gap. So we don't expect it to be a windy day or certainly no consequential winds. 6 degrees overnight in Spiritwood, 10 in the Battlefords, 4 in Candle Lake, 7 in Birch Hills, 6 in Rostron, 5 in Nipawin, and 7 in Melfort. Most locations dealing with clear skies or just a few clouds. Now, rolling into Saturday, lots of clouds out there, but really, you know, sort of poking through there'll be a little bit of sunshine poking through the cloud deck, but 15 degrees for Spiritwood. A windy day in North Battleford to start off with. The winds will back off in the afternoon. 16 degrees for our daytime high, 17 for Candle Lake, 18 for Birch Hills, 17 for Rostron, 18 for Nipawin, and Melfort expected to top out at 17 degrees. And yes, these temperatures are way above seasonal. All righty, let's take a look at the details for Prince Albert. As John was mentioning, a big game tonight at the Art Hauser Centre. 5 degrees overnight tonight, clear skies, winds out of the south at 15. That's your overnight temperature. And then tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies, 17 degrees, and winds from the southwest at 15. So moderate winds, but a southerly flow, so warm winds. And as I mentioned, 17 degrees for a high, 12 on Sunday, Monday 9 degrees, 8 on Tuesday, Wednesday 7 degrees, about a 40% chance of showers. And then Thursday, a coolish day, 5 is below seasonal, but then 8 degrees right now. And this is, I know it's a week away, but right now things are looking not too bad for Halloween. 8 degrees for a high and just mainly cloudy skies. So parkas may not be needed.
There you go. Does body paint count then as a layer? That's the question.
That's a trick question. I will not answer that.
There you go. Well, Mosaic Stadium is going to be shifting from the pros on Saturday night to the future pros for the Canadian Junior Football League on Sunday. The Saskatoon Hilltops travel to Regina this weekend. They'll face the Thunder in the Prairie Football Conference Championship.
Carter Ashman waggles out to the right to hand it off to Borst, breaks a tackle, and he's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. He's in for the touchdown.
This will be the 5th straight season Saskatchewan's 2 teams will face off in the final. The Thunder came out on top last season with a 24-19 victory in Saskatoon. Teams split the season series with the road team taking each game. The 2025 PFC final goes Sunday at Mosaic Stadium. Kickoff is set for 1 o'clock.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Some groundbreaking technology is offering hope for people who have lost movement or sensation. It's being featured in a study that's allowing people to regain those abilities through the power of their brains. ABC's Will Reeve reports.
Oh, there he goes. This morning, groundbreaking mind-to-movement technology, giving people with spinal cord injuries, like Angie Donaldson, the ability to move and even feel again for the first time in years.
You're going to play the piano with your brain.
Yes. It's done using a cutting-edge brain-computer interface, or BCI, at the University of Pittsburgh and UPMC Rehabilitation Institute.
The BCI can actually record activity from their brain interpret patterns of activity to understand the intent that the person's trying to communicate, and then turn that into a signal for an external device.
The hope is that someday BCIs can help people with spinal cord injuries at home by restoring lost mobility or feeling. Angie is the newest study participant. She was paralyzed from the chest down after a fall down the stairs in 2019. Her life changing instantly.
Your independence, it's essentially gone. I have to rely on someone to help me get in and out of bed, shower, get dressed. It's a lot.
How is it being a parent living with a spinal cord injury?
Very, very challenging. I get a lot of mom guilt because I'm not able to do the things I used to do with them physically, and that's tough.
The injury was traumatic and isolating, but Angie, now 45, has found solace here at the lab. She says it gives her purpose.
I'm inspired again. I feel hopeful again because this technology is just going to get better. And if they can get the technology of sensation going in our hands, eventually it could be your bladder, it could be your legs. We're just starting.
28-year-old Nathan Copeland can use his brain to move this robotic arm. In fact, he's the longest working study participant at the lab. He's been going for 11 years.
Firm grip.
And now, since the car accident that paralyzed him from the chest down 21 years ago, Nathan is once again able to experience the sensation of touch.
It feels like my middle finger. I think it's kind of definitely dreamlike, just thinking about something and it's happening.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
More great technology, hey, Jeff? Holy.
Amazing. Really amazing.
Not bad. Hey, how about this? An Alberta man is just 2 months away from the experience of a lifetime. He's been chosen as a torchbearer for the Olympic torch relay in Italy.
They say like 200 to 300 meters. So it's a relatively short distance carrying the torch, but I don't know if I'm going uphill. I don't know if I'm going downhill. I want to be prepared. I don't want to be out of breath by the end of it.
From St. Albert, Kevin Ransom is saying he's getting back into shape for the big moment. He will run a section of the torch route in northern Italy sometime in December. Now, he has struggled with anxiety and depression since he was young, and he wants to use this opportunity to inspire others, like his 2 daughters that will be joining him in Italy. And Jeff, I was actually just looking during the commercial break, and this brings back memories of the torch and the handoff. It's all about the handoff.
It is.
It's important. Make sure you practice that handoff there.